Hey, this is Coach Val here with the Falcons, helping you to run further, faster, with less injuries. And today I want to talk to you about pacing and the pack. And here's the one thing you need to know, especially when we're talking about club running and middle school aged or even high school aged runners. The one thing I tell all the Falcons is the pack is a bunch of liars, and you need to learn how to control your pacing. It's just so important to know the pace you need to start your race with, the middle section of your race, and the end. And the way you do that is in your practice. Your coach should be training you how to start a race, how to handle that middle section of a race, and then how to finish out a race. And all that should be done in your practice. This last year at the Junior Olympics, one of our runners, Hazelbaum, took gold in the 1500 meter. But I'll tell you, at the beginning of the race, you wouldn't have thought that she was going to be the candidate or the athlete to get the 1500. Here's Hazel right here in the pink socks and in the pink headband. Now, when she went out but did not go out with a lead pack. Very intentionally. We had been training in practice for her to go out around a pace of about 4:25. That was kind of the pace I wanted her to settle in at. But when we got close to the Junior Olympics and I looked at the times, I told her I really wanted her more conservative on her start. Wanted her to save for her middle section of the race, passing more runners in the middle section than in the final section. To me, that's key as a coach. I want to see my athletes passing more in the middle than in the end. It's a big deal for me. So we decided about 4:35 would be her start pace. She had been training at 4:25, so it was easy for her to settle into a 4:35 pace. Now you can see the other girls went out and they're much further ahead from her. As a matter of fact, Hazel at this point in the race, when they are coming around to the first 200, she's actually in the back pack. Everybody is really going pretty fast at this point. And as they come around, they're passing the first 300-meter mark. You can see here's our lead runner and here's Hazel. This hands down looks like our lead finisher. She's got a very strong kick, strong pace. Matter of fact, at this point, she's probably close to 4-minute flat or just around there. She's really, really moving. But again, my runners know, trust your pace, trust your training. So Hazel here, she's not doing anything different. And you can see her right here. She's starting to move to lane 2 on the outside. She's not going any faster. She's actually slowing down a little bit into a race pace because now she's finished her starting kick and she's moving into her middle section. This is the section where I give our athletes a window of time that I really like for them to stay within, usually about a 5 to 7 second window of time where I really want them to have a very focused, concentrated kick. And at this point, the pack is still out front and the pack looks really strong. Again, there's our lead runner and you can see Hazel has moved up, but she's somewhere in the middle now. But we are coming around the first 600 meters. She's still just staying on top of her kick, holding down her race pace. And you can see now she's past the middle and she's now passing up runners number 2 and runners number 3. She's not going any faster, just running her race, running her pace. And you can see now after the 600, here she is. She is going to now take over the lead. It's amazing because she's not going faster. If you look at her split times, she's right on her pace where she needs to be. She's holding down her kick. What's happening is the pack is a bunch of liars. They went out too fast and they fade, and then they always try to run furiously at the end. That's a really poor racing strategy. So you can see Hazel, you can see her checking her watch. Now I'm big about this as coach. I tell them on the track every 200 meters on a 1500, I want you on target. We know what our pace times are, usually to the 200 meter mark. So you can see she's checking it there. She's making her move, and now you can see, look at the gap she is creating. I tell the Falcons, I'd love for you to create a mansion of space between you and second place, or at least a shack, whatever you can give me. So you can see here, she has taken a very clear lead in her race. Not going faster, she's trusting the pacing and trusting her training. We've been training in these paces during our practice sessions, working on her middle section and helping her to get strong in that area of her race. And you can see here, she hands down has a very, very, very big lead in front of all of the other runners. And if you look at her times, she's sitting right on top of, I think we had her about 5:17 to 5:20s, and she's doing brilliantly, sitting on that pace, bringing it to the end. She's not worried at all about the runners behind her. You can see here, she is holding down at least 50 meters or so of space between her and second place and comes across the finish line here There's our little falcon spreading the wing out, and she lands. It was about 4:53. The next runner comes in at 4:57. So today's lesson, it's really simple, guys. Listen, in your training, train for your start, train for your middle section, and train for your finish. The great runners, the really, really good ones, never get fooled by the pack, and they pass up more runners in the middle section than they do at the end. All right, I hope this helps, and I'll see you next time.